Crunchy.
Hello, Crunch community. My name is Levi Out Loud. Call me Levi, call me Loud, just don't call me out. And I'm back with Just Chat from Inside Thoughts Productions with another Death Battle reaction. This time it's Ghost Rider versus Spawn. Full disclosure, Justin doesn't know who Spawn is.
I don't.
I'm
You're
just gonna
very
throw you
right.
under the bus right now, man. I just can't believe you don't know who that is. Like, do you know anything from Image Comics, bro?
Image? No, I don't even know what Image Comics is. I'm a DC fan for life. Batman is my hero. That's my dog. All right. Why do I need to know about anybody else from this Walmart version of comics or whatever?
All right. You people are gonna come after you. People are gonna come after you.
Please come after me. Please. I would like to see them talk to me about what not a lot of people have heard of. Let's go ahead and have a conversation.
Not a lot of people heard of. Spawn is probably one of the most famous superheroes outside a major studio like Marvel and DC.
I believe that. Do they want to argue with me that this is a very popular comic book series? There's a reason why they haven't had any, oh my goodness, somebody's calling me. Sorry. They're probably calling me now, already starting to talk about the hate that they want to give me. But go ahead. I'm ready for the hate. Please.
You're ready for the hate. I mean,
let's talk about
key. Invincible. Invincible's from Image Comics.
Well, that's different. Invincible is actually good.
You haven't seen Spawn, but
Spawn is.
We'll see from the analysis. But I can already tell you, I'm gonna go with my man Spawn. I'm gonna go with my man Spawn. I've been a Spawn fan for a long while. I have this thing. I have this probably from way back then. Look how badass looks.
I will say, from the time that you told me last time who Spawn was, and then Michael J. I forgot his last name.
White.
Yeah, Michael J. White. I love him as an actor. He's a fantastic action hero, and he also has a lot of range in other things that he's done. I mean, I'm not saying he's like the strongest actor or anything. He's not the best fighting action star, but he is pretty cool, and I do like him. So from what you've told me about Spawn, I like him. I enjoyed him. Who am I going to go for? I want to go for my boy Ghost Rider. Not gonna lie to you. So I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you're a writer, all right.
What's that supposed to mean, Levi? What's that supposed to mean? Not. Yeah. I'm riding on Ghost Rider's dick. I sure am. Guess what, Levi? He doesn't have a dick because he's a ghost and he's a skeleton. It's probably really fiery.
I don't know about that, but all right, let's go and dive in.
Probably like some kind of STD when you have sex with Ghost Rider. All right, get to it.
The hell of vengeance. About to see my boy.
Versus Spawn.
My boy went through hell and heaven.
Of Armageddon. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And
Spawn hasn't been death out for like 20 years, I think.
To find out who would win.
I feel like Spawn is like what Batman could be, except
Johnny Blaze
with
has always been a man possessed, chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts.
I kind of want to change my answer to Spawn, not gonna lie to you.
Crash Simpson. Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer, heartbroken, and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could, chemotherapy. So, to cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell. Only for Crash to actually live up to his name right after. But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul,
there's
Mephisto
Nicolas
had
Cage.
something else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance. So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into hellfire. An undead skeleton.
People really want him to come back as Ghost Rider.
The 5th scariest Nick Cage performance. The stuntman.
I mean, I thought he did okay.
He
just
called himself
Nick Cage is an actor. I have a love-hate relationship.
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider? Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named the character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you. The Ghost Rider was bad news for Earth's sinners and scumbags. He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries. Don't even think about fighting back. He can remake his whole body from the hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage.
Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him.
It's not just his body. His whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can create anything he can think of, from an infinite stream of chains, a shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barbed right out of his mouth. Life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his Hell Cycle.
Oh, this badass bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire is a weapon in and of itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky.
Does that mean his motorcycle doesn't run on gas?
His boner, Wiz. Get it?
Oh, I guess he does have a
And
dick.
it doesn't just
He
scorch
was
flesh.
peeing out fire.
Hellfire is so deadly.
Telling you,
it
it's like
can
an
burn away
STD
your
when you
very
have sex with
soul.
Ghost Rider.
This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider, and Danny was the first to master their most famous move. You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a look. The penance stare.
That's really
The
cool,
penance stare
powerful.
inflicts upon its victims every ounce of pain they ever wreaked upon others. Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment.
I was just
Obliterating
thinking
your
about this
soul.
scene the
It
other
even works
day,
on other Ghost
and I was
Riders,
like,
when Johnny
who
and Danny got
did
into a
that?
staring
Like,
contest, and
I just
Danny
remember the
actually
scene, like he just
depowered
turned their
Johnny.
soul into whatever the
Eyes
fuck.
are windows to the
And I was like,
soul.
who
So
is
the
this?
Ghost Rider must be able to match
it's Ghost
his
Rider.
victim's gaze
Okay.
for the penance stare to work.
Wow,
Some people
that's
have
coincidence.
survived it,
That's a
like the
major
Punisher,
coincidence. Look at that.
supposedly because he didn't
That
regret
says
his
I need to
actions.
stick with
But
Ghost
it
Rider.
did work on him on other occasions.
Well, Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess info, or just show you the error of your ways.
Remember, the Ghost Rider is two souls in one body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
What is up with Marvel
Classic
always
Faustian
having like
bargain.
two people
All
on
the
two
power in the
sides?
world, but
Like,
if you want
oh,
it,
my
it
soul is
uses
separated
you.
from the
Because
actual
if Johnny
demon
gives
within
in,
me.
the demon's full might will take over,
I don't
and
think-
then everything
I
is
don't know if
screwed.
that's a very
Zarathos'
common.
strength is boundless.
common
He can
case.
open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, penance stare an entire
Not in
city,
DC.
and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's manhandled some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Hyperbole? Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven
Yeah.
itself.
Right
He's
before
that
an
guy.
army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
As far back as the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth, a sort of heavenly black ops.
Okay, wait, does that make Zarathos an angel now, or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge
There's
against
a lot
that
of
big
name
red
drops.
bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had
Another
one
name.
more
What
day
Ghost
to fix
Riders
that
are
hole
there?
in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon, fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus's fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse. That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
So it was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld and took Hell's throne for himself, usurping the devil that ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick-ass upgrade, the Damnation Stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell.
They made it
No
more
shot.
powerful.
As they say though, uneasy lies
They
the
didn't need a
head that
buff.
wears the crown.
Jesus.
Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
In truth, Johnny was just as trapped by hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within. mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
As they sure as hell won't find any in his.
All right, so how you feel about your boy, Justin?
I think he's pretty dope. This whole time I was like, I kind of want to change my answer just because I saw Nick Cage and it just brought back so many memories of just how much I don't like Nick Cage. He has a few good movies. I'm not gonna lie to you. I liked Ghost Rider. It's just, just the connection. All right, he's a corny dude. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you, but he's all right. And Ghost Rider as a superhero or as a whatever we're going to call him, also okay.
Okay,
but
Treasure
I
think not Treasure Planet,
National Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Have you seen it as an adult?
No.
Yeah, don't talk to me until you've seen it as an adult.
Is it that bad?
It's not bad. You just see things a whole lot differently.
Okay. But all right. But
am I with Ghost Rider? Let me say this. I don't know whether to go with my gut. My gut is saying Spawn right now, but everything else inside of me is saying Ghost Rider because that's my boy. That's who I grew up with. So let's see. Let's see what Spawn has to give, and then I'll let you know my final answer.
Before a quick question, just a quick answer. Who would you like to see play Ghost Rider in the Marvel Universe? If you have a quick answer.
I don't have a quick answer. I've never thought about that before. Because
Miles Nolan Reedus.
Okay.
Let's start.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
With Robin Hood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement.
If Al Simmons was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun.
Man, I just love Michael J. White.
Red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his fateful mission when
he carries those Tyler Perry films.
Orders, Al was
fired. He really
The
does.
burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell.
And he has a lot of underground action movies. Like, not a lot of people know about his action movies.
Of hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hell Spawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get cookies, bud.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
Damn.
There, you
Damn.
saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was born the undead warrior from hell itself, Spawn.
He's so 90s that he comes all the way back around to being the coolest thing ever.
400
Look
pounds?
upon his edge wizard and despair.
That's ridiculous.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden, while slowly uncovering
And
the
all of that
full
is
breadth of
muscle?
his
That's
demonic
fucking
powers.
crazy.
He's like a walking superpower encyclopedia. He can fly, teleport, turn invisible and intangible, move things with his mind, make force fields, control the elements and the weather, and even stop time. Speaking of time, he can fly so fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he
This
just
is all
fix his
some of
ugly
this new information. for me.
Well, he tried to
Yes,
do
sir.
that, but Malbolgia
I don't know
cursed
anything
him
about
so
it.
that he could only make himself, yeah.
Oh, it's petty trolling like that
Yeah,
gets you
Michael
a throne
Jackson
in
thing.
hell.
To be fair, Spawn can achieve a similar
Reverse.
result with illusions and mental manipulation.
Goddamn.
He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Spawn can do all of this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell
What is that?
juice.
You're not wrong.
Necroplasm.
Is the energy that makes up hell
You said
itself.
that a little fast for me.
Al's
It sounded
undead
like
body
something
is
else.
composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed
Have
off
you
of
ever
it. By
experienced
simply
necroplasm?
walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of
No,
8
Levi,
million
I'm
New
not-
Yorkers instantly,
I'm not
cleansing them of their
experience.
evil.
Like Jesus?
Necroplasm.
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole
The hell?
life.
Like some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got a limited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers. If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training in hand-to-hand combat. He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
And as befits his past profession, he loves his big-ass 90s guns.
Though his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can
This
act
cape is so
independently to
badass.
defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains,
I do like his
transform
cape.
into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
It even helped Spawn beat the primordial dark god Urizen, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed permanently if decapitated by one.
Though Spawn has managed to survive this in the past. No, Spawn's greatest weakness is his own, how do I put this, stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady, Angela. Great name for an angel. She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn was forever destroyed, until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There we are.
How do you do that if he gets frozen?
That has to be the first time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade by Heaven into an anti-Spawn. He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Malvosia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with Heaven that'd kill all of humanity.
Because the reason Malvolgia chose Al to be his commander wasn't that he was some great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to Hell and ripped Malvosia's head off. With a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality, Spawn became the king of the 8th circle of Hell.
As king, Spawn is literally a part of Hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between Heaven and Hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this god and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the tree of life, Spawn became truly divine, capable of battling God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of Heaven and Hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. But he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can angstingly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell.
Like the way they ended that.
This battle is sponsored by DraftKings.
DraftKings! Oh.
All right, so let me go ahead. Fast forward. All right, so Justin, so we've seen both analysis for everybody. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with my boy Spawn. I had to change my answer. I'm sorry. That he's really badass. And Michael J. White played him and not Nicolas Cage. And both, I would say, are pretty even actors. Like, I think Michael J. White is just the cooler version of Nicolas Cage. Like, his movies still aren't like the best. Like, he's not the best actor, but he just gives he's just a better performer. He just got more swag than Nicolas Cage does, you know?
I still remember that, you know, that moment from Why'd I Get Married? Listen, she is the mother of my children. That, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, which makes my case.
I'm only seeing you because of those kids. That is it.
that makes my case exactly. Like I see him and Nicolas Cage on the same level, but I mean, Michael J. White just brings more swag, which I think is the same thing with these two characters. I think Spawn just brings more swag than Ghost Rider, but I kind of see them at an equal level of what the fuck. So, yeah, because Spawn just had so many stories here, there, ripping this and that, and man, Ghost Rider had the same thing. It just didn't sound as cool. they made Spawn sound really fucking dope. Just his fucking cape. You know what I mean? Like, if they could make Ghost Rider sound like that, I might have gone with Ghost Rider. But no, I go with Spawn. I think it's a pretty even battle. But yeah, Spawn.
I love Ghost Rider, but I got a rep for. I'm gonna show it off again. I got a rep for my boy Spawn. All right, I rep him out. So let's see if he's got this. I think he's got this. From what I've seen, you know, following all the analysis, that he's done a lot, and the fact that he avoided death and brought himself back twice, I think will help. And the fact that I think his penance there is a counter to Ghost Rider's penance there, if that makes sense. But let's go into it.
All right, let's do it.
Death battle!
Nights like these drive men insane. Brimstone in the air.
See, his voice even sounds dope. Like, what the
Piece of me.
Yeah, nah,
There'll be
Spawn's my
hell to
dude.
pay.
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Make me.
I will say, Spawn using a gun on the first move, looking at this dude like he looks, I would not have chosen a gun.
Okay, it's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
Love the music.
Sloppy, you fight like a bum.
You've earned your damnation.
I'll see what
Imagine that was it. That'd be fun.
Welcome to hell.
Oh, there's that time stop.
I'll be damned. Yes, you will.
That's pretty good.
You already put out the blue Ghost Rider.
He went Super Saiyan mode.
The vestments of the holy.
And he went Jesus mode.
Disguise your wickedness. God forbid.
See, that goes to show that bigger isn't always better.
Oh shit! No, Spawn, no!
Your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul. I eat sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
Oh shit!
It's the Prince of Law. Wait, I'm an innocent.
This is the Image Comics right here. This is. Michael J. White, let's go.
Said, nothing
Might not be over.
Asshole.
It's over.
Damn!
Literally. This was a nail-biter of a battle that pitted Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against Spawn's skill and versatility. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
They just
First
need
up,
to add
power.
swag, because that's what really did it. Okay.
Great universes, similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far greater than any cosmos Spawn has ever affected.
No, really?
Even though Spawn's battled and defeated Satan in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power, but
Okay,
remember,
wow.
Johnny actively
I would've thought,
resists Zarathos' influence, so
God
Spawn
and
may have had
Satan
time in the
would've
fight to
been as
learn and
powerful
adapt to
as
Ghost
Galactus.
Rider before he went full Blue Fury.
And Spawn definitely had the edge in skill. He spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate dream
That
power
makes
for a
sense.
stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds, warp reality. The
Yeah, I
Ghost
didn't know
Rider
he had
had
all
a
these
much more
powers.
limited
I
arsenal
did
by
not know that.
comparison.
I didn't see him
huge
use it in the movie.
advantage
I
in
wonder
this
why.
category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is their resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare, just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
There was nothing the Ghost Rider could do to overpower that. And that time with the Lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you
What
can't.
is that?
At least Johnny and Zarathos could.
Unlike how Ghost
Oh, wait.
Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack
save it.
before, like when Danny used the penance stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The damnation stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
Giving Spawn the final edge. Zarathos was almost unbeatable, a massive power advantage, soul destruction, immortality, but Spawn could counter everything thrown at him, and was too unkillable for Zarathos' strength advantage to matter in the long run against his crazier abilities.
That was one hell of
my
a fight,
dude.
and at least Johnny went out in a blaze of glory.
The winner
Just one more
is
time.
Spawn.
Next time on Death
Oh,
Battle.
I guess we'll look next time. Hey! Oh, well. Yeah. It had to be
Subscribe
them.
and join as a member to
Had
see
to be
more
them.
Death Battle.
Had to be them. I couldn't pause it quick enough. But I'll leave that. I'll flash that up. We'll talk about it a bit. But do you agree with the results, Justin?
Absolutely, absolutely. All I heard was Spawn had more swag. That's all I heard. I mean, they pretty
That's all.
much like no, because it was just pretty much just like they were both the same, except one had immortality and the other didn't. And well, I mean, both of them had immortality, but Spawn could break through that shit because he's just cooler. That's what I heard. You know, as a consensus, like as an overall thing, is just Spawn was just doper. Like he just like he could fight. He didn't have, like it. I don't know. I should have gone with Spawn first. Michael J. White has never let me down, except for when he lets me down with his movies. But when I'm looking for that kind of thing, Michael J. White is where I go, and never Nicolas Cage.
I'll say that it's so interesting that you never heard of Spawn before, because should have been so many opportunities for you to get to introduce the character, because like he was a guest character in Soul Calibur for the Xbox. He was a guest character for Soul Calibur. He was a guest character in Mortal Kombat. Not so like maybe in the last third game that came out. And then like one thing I think you can remember is I'm pretty sure it was a parody, but do you remember where Timmy Turner, he had like a whole bunch of Crimson Chins come out?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one Crimson Chin, he's like, "Don't call on me, I got canceled."
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I'm pretty sure he's a parody of Spawn, because Spawn comics were pretty like gritty and dark and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think this fight was amazing. I just really love the dialogue. Like Spawn exactly spoken like true Spawn, like if you go back to his dialogue, he's just always doing one-liners and quips, and they're all just so badass. Have you seen Walton Goggins? Walton Goggins? Walton Goggins, the actor.
I haven't.
Essentially like Walton Goggins. Like everything Walton Goggins says is like really great. But in
just really dope. Okay.
Recent Fallout, but in the Fallout TV show. But yeah, Spawn just says everything so badass. And he's like,
he does.
Time for you to get your own medicine. It was just so good, man. But yeah, overall this one my favorite. But so going into it, next up is Shigaraki versus Mahito. My Hero Academia versus Jujutsu Kaisen. Do you know anything about these two characters?
I know a little bit about the My Hero Academia dude because you've shown it to me, but not the Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't even seen the anime, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a little bit like interesting because both these anime characters, they both have a certain power where if they touch you, you die.
Oh,
So do you want me to show you some clips, or do you want to save it for the next episode?
Save it for the next episode.
Save it for the next episode. Okay, because it gets kind of strange to where Shigaraki, he touches you and you turn to dust. Like it's like Infinity War snapped. And then Mahito, he touches you, and basically by touching you, he can transfigure your soul. So like he can literally kind of turn you stretchy or make you explode.
That's ridiculous. Okay, cool. Cool.
I don't know how they're gonna do this. I don't know how they're gonna put these two together. They do both get like final forms, like near the ends of their animes, so that's gonna be something interesting to see. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. Everyone's been hyping this one up.
All right, I'm ready for it.
All right, cool. Any final thoughts, Justin?
No, we know Spawn. I know Spawn now. And for all the other people that were watching that did not know who Spawn was and was as confused as I was, always pick on Spawn. Always pick on Michael J. White and never Nicolas Cage. Amen in the end.
Okay. All right. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. Thank you to Just Chat from Inside Thoughts Productions. All make sure to like and subscribe. All in all, stay crunchy.